Did I completely screw this up? What's going on, collectibles friends? Another day, another collectibles video. We are talking about graded comic books, a supply-demand conversation. It's going to be a fun one. I feel like I might have missed this. Did I completely miss the boat on the whole supply-demand thing? I've been talking a lot of smack over the last year about how there is a tremendous amount of ungraded comic book supply, and I'm talking about key comic books. Let me make sure that I make that known here. Key comics, so when you watch the top 10 videos, the Comic Tom stuff, and others that do those videos, I enjoy those videos. But we're talking about key comic books. There's a lot of ungraded supply. Frankly, just like in trading cards, there's a lot of trading cards and comic books that really shouldn't be graded. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If it's a $1 comic book, $5 comic book, does it make sense to grade it out? Most of the time, no. But I still feel like we are in the beginning stages of comic book grading and the growth attached to it. I know many would say, like, man, we've been doing graded comic books for 20 years. But like I said, I do think that the fact that PSA is getting into the market to challenge CGC, it shows me that they must feel that there is enough demand there for a secondary player to come in and do well. And I think that that is absolutely the case. When you're looking at key books and also, modern variants and things as you kind of move forward, I just believe that the average collector / consumer as we move forward, if they're going to spend $200, $500, $1,000 on a comic book, they're going to want that in a graded slab as opposed to buying that raw copy. Of course, you might take a chance on a book where you feel like maybe you're getting good value at $1,000 for a raw copy, but there's always that risk of, was it touched up? Was it restored? Was there a page missing? For the average Joe collector like myself, I might not catch those things. A lot of comic book collectors have a great eye for it. The same way in trading cards, they've got a great eye for, oh, this card was trimmed or something's a little bit off. Maybe they touched it up or whatever. The average collector and a lot of new people getting into these hobbies not necessarily going to know those things. And so third-party grading has never been more important than it is now. Now, the one thing I continue to see, and I'll put up just recently on a Facebook post, I think a couple days ago, somebody had posted a lot of key books that were ungraded. And Comic Tom, one thing I do like about the top 10s is he'll go ahead and put on like price increases or decreases, whatever, but he'll also put census increases. And I know that some people will crack books and send them back in, and we have to take that into account, of course. But it's still important to kind of have some sort of an idea of how much more graded supply are we seeing, because that number is going to continue to rise. It's only going to rise. And so as we are looking at the supply-demand equation for third-party graded collectibles, even for comic books in high demand, it does feel like, okay, eventually the supply is going to rise and it's going to suppress those prices, assuming demand doesn't keep up with it. Well, what have we seen here recently? I almost feel like the graded comic book speculation machine just got a huge injection of interest and excitement due to, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, they're back and they're on the big screen. And you got the X-Men, you got Deadpool moving over to the MCU. And then, of course, just recently you have Robert Downey Jr. that has announced that he is coming back as Dr. Doom. And what are they going to do with that storyline? Is it going to be like Iron Man becomes Dr. Doom? I've seen some people speculating on which storyline they're going to go with. Or is it just a completely fresh start, like we're pretending like that guy never played Iron Man or whatever? All the multiverse stuff, who knows what's going to happen. I did recently pick up, not on the comic book side, but an ever-elusive trading card, and it's the 2008 Rittenhouse Robert Downey Jr. on-card autograph. This one in particular happens to have that 2008 inscription. I'm so excited that I was able to pick this up. Like I said, it's very elusive, especially with that 2008 inscription. And what makes the 2008 inscription important is simply that that movie, the first Iron Man movie, and arguably the most popular actor in the universe, in that Marvel universe, started that whole Marvel Cinematic Universe in 2008 with that first Iron Man movie, and then has continued on. We're 15 plus years later. How many movies later? The MCU has made more money than any franchise, any IP ever in cinematic history, and it will continue on. And they've announced Doomsday, that next Avengers stuff. Of course, we're going to have X-Men. We're going to have Fantastic Four coming in the years ahead. But the thing that's interesting, though, is it does feel like the speculation machine has just been kind of like the wheels were kind of grinding slower and slower. And then all of a sudden, we got new interest. We've got, okay, all right, we got our guy back, Robert Downey Jr., Deadpool, Wolverine. Look, people are not going to the movie theater. I don't go to movies at the movie theater. I went to go see that one. People just aren't going to theaters. They're not getting off their couch where they've got the home entertainment system that's already incredible. They're like, I'll just wait for it. I'll watch it on my 80-inch TV at home. I'll make my own popcorn and save 20 bucks. People are not going to the movies, and that movie comes out. There's enough excitement there to generate all the excitement. So, and in the movie, I thought it was funny, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Ryan Reynolds keeps on making a joke to Hugh Jackman of, they're going to have us doing this until we're 90. And I just saw how much Robert Downey Jr. is getting paid to be Dr. Doom. It's serious, serious cash. I'm not sure that an actor's ever been paid that much. Maybe The Rock or, some of these guys. I know Mark Wahlberg was paid some crazy money for some of his stuff, but it's huge, huge dollars. Hugh Jackman will play that character till he's 90 if they pay. Ryan Reynolds too. Ryan Reynolds loves playing Deadpool. And that trio of actors, and of course you got other great actors as well. I don't want to discount any of the other actors, but that trio of actors brings people to the theaters. And the reason why I'm talking about these things together is a lot of the increase in these key comic books has been related to the boom in comic book movies and shows. It's shown that the prices have just completely moved up. It's a lot of guys like me, gals like me going through their midlife crisis, and we're getting back into the things that we love. So let me know in the comments, even though we will have more graded supply, I know some of you will say like, hey, look, dude, I don't care about graded comic books. I'm still going to buy the raw copies. I do understand that. I guess what I'm saying is my point of view is that I believe that over time, as collectors age up and that next generation of collectors coming in, third-party grading is becoming more and more an accepted thing. It has been for decades. And I do think that that is going to continue forward with trading cards as well as comic books and other collectibles. I do feel that that will be an important part of the ecosystem more and more so as we move forward. So do you think that there is enough demand with these new movies and kind of a resurgence? Are we going to see kind of some more Avengers stuff? I mean, Avengers Endgame, that was what, billions of dollars worldwide. I think one thing that the MCU has figured out is, hey, we can try all these different projects, but we need to go back to our roots and stick with what works. And the trio of actors that I just mentioned, whether it's Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Robert Downey Jr., they're tried and true. So let's see how much they double down there. So will that be enough? Will that be enough demand? Even though, look, 5 years from now, as these movies are coming out, think about what that supply, that graded supply is going to look like in 5 to 7 years when all these movies, again, coming out. There'll be more behind them. This thing will never end. They will continue the movies. Will there be enough demand to meet that added supply? And PSA will be in the game as well to keep those prices up. Or will it just be too much? And it's like, you know what? There's just so much graded supply that it's going to suppress prices to some degree. And maybe collectors can rejoice in that. Look, if you're just trying to collect key books, maybe you can get a higher graded book for a lesser price. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, my friends. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.